Thank you everyone to join the session, guys. It really means a lot. Already there are good number of people at the weekend and that too that is evening. So let's dig deep into Einstein prediction builder with Sesha. So this is the one of the kind of session I was thinking about, and I just want to deliver this session from the long time. But to be honest, I didn't have much experience on Einstein prediction builder when I am thinking about this. But recently I got some good hands-on, and I have a good org to perform some of the predictions. So that's the reason why I tend to do more than 100 plus predictions and understand what Einstein prediction builder will do, what is the best extent it can goes up to, and what are its limitations and what are its best things under these features. So I came to know all about these things out of these 100 plus predictions and analysis of these predictions. And I just want to make sure you guys also get to know about it, get to know the importance about it, and let's see how the session goes. Hopefully, it goes very good without any interruption from my side with respect to internet or any other things. Yeah. So my name is Tamalar Venkateshwar, and I'm software engineer at Cloudbiz. So software engineering is my designation, and but my role is there as an admin developer as well as you can say BA as well. So it's mix up of all these things, and very fortunate to be in the kind of roles. And I'm also Vijayawada developer group leader. You already know about this, and I am also Salesforce Evangelist and Einstein advocate because I really like Salesforce. I love Salesforce, and I really admire Einstein as well because I'm a kind of person who very much inclined towards the management side as well as these artificial intelligence and data analytics kind of thing. So that's the reason why Einstein became my favorite, and rather than development all this stuff. So and I also I love CRM and marketing. So CRM is like everything for me. I love it a lot. Not only Salesforce, and nowadays learning HubSpot as well, and looking forward to do more HubSpot certifications because the way CRM explained in some of the HubSpot courses is really exceptional. And and I'm a and I like really marketing because I don't know why. Marketing is like my forte. I used to do my personal branding, marketing about Vijayawada stuff and other things in and around social media and everywhere else. So this is me, guys. This is Sesha Giri for you. People call me Sesha. That's the short name I usually have. And so finally, the screen is so, yeah. So coming to the agenda, guys, I just want to mention some of my accomplishments because I can see a very good number of people who is attending first time to these service virtual learners as well as associated Vijayawada session. So that's why I just want to mention some of my accomplishments from my side. And I also want to thank Cloudbiz because there are lots of things Cloudbiz has make sure to evolve myself. I'll let you know about all this stuff. And I'm also would like to give upcoming sessions shout outs also, which is happening in around in Trailblazer community. And I just want to know you about what is the basics of AI and as well as what are predictions exactly means, and a live demos with some use cases. And most importantly, I just want to give you some results analysis, how prediction results are going to be there and how we can do the analysis, and some of the things to remember before doing these or after performing predictions. So these are the things I just want to mention. And what's next, and Q&A will be the final thing which we are going to discuss. So my next slide, here comes my accomplishment, guys. So I'm certified Salesforce administration platform app builder, and I'm Connect HubSpot Copilot and Blossom certified. HubSpot is another CRM, and Copilot and Blossom are native DevOps for Salesforce. These three are really cool certifications after any day after Salesforce. So I trained Salesforce to 500 plus students in KL University. When I'm in fourth year, it used to my thing where I have to go to our junior classes and have to train them. Might be this make me to bunk my classes or these is my passion. I can say teaching is my passion. On this good occasion of Teachers Day, I am very proud to say that I trained these many number of students, and out of these many students, approximately 150 plus students got certified into Salesforce, and they are making their preparations for Salesforce recruitment as well. So that's it, guys. And I organized Salesforce Mega Community event, which has happened on February 9th and 10th. It is named as the India's biggest students event with 600 plus students involved in it, and 13 plus community rock stars were there in that event as a guest speakers. So the event is organized at KL University as well, and I'm currently developer group leader of Vijayawada, and I am formerly I was a student group leader of KL University as well, guys. So leadership is there in my every aspect of my life. Like I am a student SPL in my 10th class, and at intermediate I was the house captain. There used to be houses in our intermediate, like orange house, red house, blue house. So I was the orange house captain. So leadership is there in my in and around of my career growth. So I really enjoy being a leader, and I'll make sure people also get into the leadership. So I feel that this is the one of the best attribute of the leader. To make the leaders is the best attribute of the leader. So I strongly believe in it, and I'm in a walkway through of this. So these are all the things, guys. And also coming to my trialed status, I'm a 2.5x trialed ranger with 8x supervisors, and I have accumulated 200 plus 1000 plus points as well. So, and also I'm a trialed in a box contest student, guys. So this is one of the coolest contest happened last year, and out of this contest winning, I got 500 USD dollars gift voucher, where I bought lots of things. I think 20 T-shirts, bags, bottles. I can't remember all this stuff. Also. More than 20 plus things I have bought from that $500. And also, I did my specialization in data and business analytics in my BTech third year and final year. I did this data analytics specialization, which is from our university as well. And with my own interest, I did business analytics specialization in Coursera. And I can say there is one course called Customer Analytics. It is really a game changer for me. That course, which tells them how data involves with respect to business, and that make me to more interested into these kind of artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics kind of things. Right? So that's the reason why I like Einstein as well. So because Einstein comes under this picture. So that is it from my accomplishment standpoint. And coming to CloudBiz, guys, I really want to thank CloudBiz, it's my current company which I am working, uh, because there are three things I just want to share about this company. Uh, One is since we are having this Zoom call, it is completely sponsored by CloudBiz from past few months. And another thing is, if I am giving some Einstein a session just because I got the Einstein org from my company. I just asked my boss, like, boss, I want this org to practice, and he was like, without any ado, he provided me this org, and to the sad thing that in this org, Einstein is not enabled, and he makes sure that Einstein is enabled and give it to me to deliver this session, and as well as practice my Einstein kind of things into org. So that's much of trust they believe in myself, and very friendly nature, and they don't have any hierarchies as well. They treat each and everyone as equal, whether it may be a fresher or it may be a 20 years experience. So that much of friendly culture we usually have, and that is the reason why I want to thank this. And also, CloudBiz, we are recruiting as well. So there are lots of positions we are going to recruit for interns, Salesforce developer, business analyst. There are lots, guys. So you can go to our website and visit our careers tab, and you can have and apply there. And also at CloudBiz is very much active in LinkedIn as well. You can also follow in LinkedIn and you can get the updates of the recruitments as well as how we as a company perform some of the metrics, KPIs as well as everything. You can have a look into there, and also we are very good active in Twitter as well. So these are the handles where you can explore and go to it, guys. If you want to apply and if you want to be my co-worker, please go and apply, guys. I'm very much happy to see you as my co-worker in this friendly ecosystem. So yeah. Next slide. So I want to give some upcoming shout outs as well. So there is tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. There is Demystify Asset Products and Paradot with Prashant Gandhi. This is our session, guys. Vijayawada SFDC DG session. We used to conduct these sessions regularly on Sunday at 11 a.m. So tomorrow is Paradot session. This is very rare of kind of session because Paradot license is not available everywhere. So Paradot sessions will happen very rarely, and please don't miss this session, guys. And here is the RSVP link, bit.ly/DSP5. So it is very easy to you guys to type into Google and reach for this session. As well as tomorrow at 2 p.m. there is a good session of Salesforce Aztec Student Ambassador Meet. Let's get inspired together at Trailblazer community. So this is the session which is for the recently became student ambassadors. There is 4 speakers: Jeril, Rashri, Vaishnav, and Subhangi. So let's hear their journey, how they became student ambassadors and how they started their Salesforce journey at maybe at second day of their BTech, second year of their BTech or third year of their BTech. So let's get listen about them, inspired from them in this session. It is organized by Motihari Group. So it is tomorrow at 2 p.m. So our session will complete by 1 p.m. Most preferably. We will get 1 hour break, and at 2 p.m. Let's join here, guys. And also, so next Saturday, same timing, 5 p.m. So there is a session called "Let's Understand the Sales Process Using Salesforce and HubSpot CRM" with Sesha. So once again, I'm not going to leave you. Next Saturday at 5 p.m. I'm delivering this session to Srikakulam Admin Group, which is organized by Aditya College, and the group leader Sai is organizing this session. Possibly please attend this session as well, guys. So I just want to showcase you how sales process differs between Salesforce and HubSpot. Recently I did this HubSpot certification as well. I will make sure to do more practice and more different metrics I just want to show in that session. And you can register here, guys. bit.ly/understand SP U capital and S capital. So these are the some of the session shout outs I just want to give you, making you guys comfortable to attend these sessions, and as a community group leader, it's my duty to promote these sessions as well. So next slide. So let's dig deep into the Einstein prediction builder, guys. So, oh, what's this? Sesha, wait. Okay, I waited. Okay. Sorry, guys. So what is AI and what are predictions? I forgot to tell about these things, and I am jumping right into this Einstein prediction. I think the guy who prepared this PPT is very smart because he is not going to leave any stone out of this session. So yeah, let's discuss something about AI and predictions as well. So what is artificial intelligence? So in simple terms, guys, I have given some simple definitions out of here. I don't want to make everything complex. So, oops, sorry. So AI works by combining large amounts of data with fast iterative processing and intelligent algorithms, allowing the software to learn automatically from patterns or features in the data. I think this is very difficult to understand. So I will make them into chunks and I will explain how it will be going. Sorry. So combining large amounts of data. So AI is nothing but it is artificial intelligence. It derives everything. It defines everything. It makes intelligence from the large amount of data. So to do any artificial intelligence, to give intelligence to any system, you need large amount of data. With data, it will do some iterative processing. Iterative processing means it will do front end backward. It will do some of the sorting techniques. It will do some of the processing, and then maybe it will do pre-processing. It will do binning. All this stuff it will do, and then it uses intelligence algorithms as well to do these all stuff of processing as well, and allows the software to learn automatically from patterns. So patterns plays a major role, guys. So without patterns, it is not able to understand, because a pattern will make you tell how the system will perform and how the system is performing. So if the pattern is understandable, then it will learn from that data, and it will make the system into automation, guys. And these what we call as the intelligent systems, where so it is acquired acquired by the artificial intelligence. And coming to you might heard about these terminologies: machine learning, deep learning, data analytics, business analytics. There are lots of terminologies. So these all are the things comes under AI, guys. So these are the subpart of AI. Since I am a data and business analytics and I did the specialization. So for specialization there will be 5 courses. So I did 10 courses for these all this stuff. So out of my experience, I can say that these all comes under AI. So, but they are not completely belongs to AI, but they are not out of AI as well. So these all are from the same family. So that's it from the AI standpoint. So coming to next slide. So what are predictions? So predictions are nothing but capturing the historical data, understanding the patterns with the help of machine learning and deep learning algorithms, and giving us the most positive futuristic results. So what it will do, guys? So let me give you an example. When I'm with conversation with Sagar Teja, he's there in the session. He gave me this good example. So in summer season, it is quite obvious that mangoes will be available. So how you are going to tell that mangoes are going to available? Because in past few years where you spend your time in the summer, so you came to know that at summer mangoes will be available. So with respect to the historical data, which is meant by past data, you are able to tell that this summer also mangoes are going to be available for us for good cost and for good taste as well as. And these are the pattern there. So every summer is a pattern, but not winter, but not a rainy season. So understanding this pattern with the help of historical data, and also with the help of some of the machine learning and deep learning algorithms. So our Einstein prediction builder will give us the futuristic results. Futuristic results in the sense it's nothing but predictions. So it will tell us what is going to be happen in the future. So Sagar, yeah, and isn't it more technical, or isn't it more artificial intelligence, or isn't it more into machine learning, deep learning? Do you guys think about it like that? So I just have a few examples as well how predictions will be there. So these how predictions will be there, guys. So yeah. So tarot card reading. With the help of tarot card reading, we'll do predictions, and with the help of these chakras and all this astrology, these people also give some prediction. Weather forecasting is also gives us the predictions, like example, today is Saturday, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, how will be the weather, how it is going to be, is it rainy, is it sunny? So it will tell us about all this stuff. And last and final prediction is Hermione. So Hermione Granger also give predictions in Harry Potter. She used to have this time watch, and she goes to the future, and she sees some future and come back to the present, and she do some stuff and changes some of the things in this Harry Potter series. So uh, except artificial intelligence, machine learning, all this stuff, these people also do some predictions, guys. So I know Hermione is childhood crush for everyone. It is applicable to me as well. So yeah, next slide. So yeah, let's jump deep down into overview of Einstein prediction builder. Right? So Einstein prediction builder is a custom AI for admins. Right? So it is it is admin wizard. It is purely for admin, so there is no involvement of development in Einstein prediction builder. So any one of you can build it. Those who have, those who doesn't have a developer knowledge, they can also do predictions. It's just very easy and very simple to do. And it is the out of the box Einstein apps don't fit your use case, but you don't write code and no problem. Point click predict. Just point and click and you will going to predict the future. So you do not have to be a Hermione. You do not have to be this astrologer, but by using the point and clicks, you can be a predictor as well. So in developer edition, we can perform 10 predictions and we can enable one prediction, guys. So there is a limitation in developer edition. We are only limited to do 10 predictions, and out of those 10 predictions, we can enable only one prediction. So what is this enable kind of thing? I will let you know in the demo, guys. So to extend this limitation, we have to acquire or require this license. So for more details, this is the one of the help article available. I just want to walk through you this help article for you so that you can understand it in a more better way. So, can you guys see my Google Chrome? Please let me know.
Yes, sir, we can see the.
So, yeah, thanks. So let's cover this part. So the paid version of Einstein Prediction Builder available with the Einstein Predictions and Einstein Analytics Plus licenses. So these are the two licenses where Einstein Prediction Builder is available, not as well as Developer Edition also we are available, but it is limited. So Einstein Prediction license lets you build up to 20 predictions. There you can see 20 predictions and enable up to 10. So you can extend these 10 predictions and one enability to 20 predictions and 10 when you are having Einstein Prediction Builder license. And if you are having Einstein Analytics Plus license, you can go up to 45 predictions and you can enable 35 predictions. So these are really a huge number, guys. So with respect to your customer bandwidth and with respect to your customer requirements, you can select either Einstein Analytics Plus or Einstein Prediction license, guys. So that is it from the license standpoint. So let's get back. Let me get back to the slides. So yeah, next slide. So there are types of predictions, guys. In this Einstein Prediction Builder as well, there are 3 types of predictions. There are yes or no kind of prediction with field involved in it. So field will be acting as example set. So what is this example set? What is these things? I will explain in the demo. And there is another kind of prediction which is available. It is called as yes or no without field. So without field also we can build some predictions as well, and we can also build number predictions. So let me give you a quick example. So there is a real estate property you are having. So for that real estate property, let's say it is there in Mumbai at the Thane location. So there is a lots of data available for us with respect to Mumbai and Thane location. We imported the data into our system and we do some prediction. Then it will give us the prediction how much it will cost to buy that particular flat in that Mumbai. So this is the number prediction. So the cost is nothing but it might be in INR or dollar. It is nothing but a number, right? So it will give the number predictions. So this is the number prediction. So what about yes or no predictions? Let's say you are December 31st. I got this example in my mind right away. So December 31st night we used to have party. So but there is one main criteria which might stop us to not go for parties, COVID-19. So are we going to party at December 31st or night? Yes or no? It will give that prediction. So with the help of COVID-19 data or with the help of previous years December 31st data, and what are the things which stop us to go to that December 31st data, we can make that as a field and we can make sure that as an example set and we can predict. So hopefully we go to that party. Yeah. So it's demo time, guys. So lots of bug fixes happened up to now. So let us build some of the below use cases. Let us build enrollment rate, no-show rate, screen pass rate, and as well as analysis of the results and the list views, record pages, and reports. So we are going to build three use cases, which is called as enrollment rate, no-show rate, screen pass rate, and at the same time, after getting the predictions, we are going to do the analysis within the list views, record pages, and reports as well. So let's jump towards my org. Oh my god, this PPT presentation giving me a hard time. It is not going back. Give me a second, sorry guys. So yeah, I think I hope you guys can see my screen. So let me move towards my org. So this is my org guys. It is my enterprise org, the company provided for me. So you can see some of the objects which are mainly focusing on the clinical trials where our company used to do. So we are the CloudBiz is a company where we used to do end-to-end clinical trials. So let me give what is about clinical trials and let you know what is clinical trials, because in this pandemic situation you might heard about this clinical trials, how COVID-19 is going to phase 3, phase 4, the vaccine is going to come, Russia has prepared the vaccine, in Hyderabad and Pune vaccine is going to come from India side, and in UK vaccine is almost ready, and we are hearing some news like at the end of the October Trump is also going to release the vaccine from the US side. So let us understand some of the clinical trials as well. So what is clinical trial? So clinical trial is a process where we'll perform some of the things which is related to medical standpoint. So it is mainly focusing on the healthcare domain, healthcare and life sciences domain. So clinical trials will be conducted in few phases. So there will be phase 0, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. So what are these phases? So phase 0 is nothing but preclinical phase. So in this phase, what we'll do is, so might be animals, will recruit animals, we'll recruit normal humans, and we'll do some, we'll give the vaccine to them, and we'll perform some clinical studies. So they will assess how these vaccines are going to work on them. These are the preclinical. So every time these preclinical phases are not mandatory, but few people will do these preclinical phase mostly, and they will perform these on animals. And coming to phase 1, so phase 1 will perform trials on the healthy humans. So let's say I just want to take COVID-19 as the example. So so in COVID-19, guys, can you see my screen? Please let me know. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah, I think you guys. Yes, yes. Yeah, thank you guys. So this is my order. So yeah, thank you very much. So in phase 1, what I will do, guys, if we are having, if we develop a vaccine. So in phase 1, we'll recruit healthy people who doesn't affected with COVID-19. We'll do that vaccine to them, or let's say in a pure terminology called drug. We'll give the drug to that particular person, and we'll make sure that person take the drug, and we'll assess how that person is reacting to the drug. And if he reacts very good, if the drug is reacting very good with the healthy person, then it is a very good drug to transfer from phase 1 to phase 2. So now phase 2 comes into picture. In phase 2, guys, the clinical trials will recruit the patients, the real patients, the COVID-19 affected patients. So in phase 2, they will give the drug to them, and they will assess the drug. In phase 2, they will only recruit 10, mostly tens numbers of people. And out of those tens numbers of people, if the drug works fine, then they will promote that phase 2 to phase 3. So in phase 3, there will also will be having more patients, guys. So I said in phase two, I said I didn't say the number, right? In phase two, there will be tens of people, 10 digits of people. In phase two, there will be hundreds of people. And difference between phase one and phase two: in phase one, healthy people; phase two, affected people. And also coming to phase three is also for affected people. But this is the very crucial phase where thousands of people will be assessed, and they will be given the drug, and that drug. This is a very crucial phase, and after this assessment, they will have these metrics, and that metrics will be forwarded to FDA. FDA is Food Drug and Administration. So in Food Drug and Administration, they will assess all the stuff which was happened from phase 0 to phase 3. If everything goes fine, then FDA will approve that vaccine. Then they can go to phase 4. In that phase 4, they are allowed to sell that particular vaccine. That is where then we will get the COVID-19 vaccine. So currently Russia is there in the phase 4, UK is there in phase 4. I think India is still in phase 2 I think at the end of the phase 2 or at the starting of the phase 3. So very soon we are also going to get vaccine. Hope so. These are the clinical trials, guys. So we as a CloudBiz will do end-to-end solutions for these clinical trials, like recruiting the patients, doing. There are some CROs, sponsors, clinical sites. Clinical sites are nothing but hospitals. Subjects are nothing but patients. Patient visits is called as subject. So these are phases. So these are we do, guys. And let me. Thanks for listening to phases, all this stuff. I think this is very essential thing for you to understand this, at least at this time span. Because let me go to setup. Let's jump into our Einstein prediction builder. So why I explained all these things, because the use cases which I am going to solve is more dependent on these phases and this clinical trials aspect. So that is the reason why I told. And if you can open this setup, guys, if you have this Einstein prediction builder at the home page as well, you can click this get started, and then you can go to Einstein prediction builder. But I just want to show you the from the setup as well. So Einstein prediction builder. Yeah. Yes. So Einstein prediction builder. I'm clicking Einstein prediction builder. So we'll take two Einstein prediction builder, guys. So I already did some predictions in this Einstein prediction builder. So like I told you, some of the use cases of let me go back. So enrollment rate, no-show rate, screen pass rate, these all are the things I already performed for you. But I just want to show you once again as well by doing this live demo. Why I performed on prayer, I will let you know why. Yeah. So let me do one prediction for you guys. It is a new prediction. Let me click the new prediction. So which prediction I have to do? Let's do enrollment rate. Yeah. So let me perform enrollment rate. I'm going to name it as. So if you can see how many predictions I have did, so it is already showcasing the thing. So yeah, I previously I told you I did 100 plus predictions, so that's why it's showing more. Kind of things. So enrollment rate, prediction name is enrollment rate. Click next. So what is the object which I am going to perform? Is study participation. So what is study participation? Let me explain you. So like I am telling, these are the clinical studies where people will be following from phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. So for these clinical studies, we need patients to do a study on them, to do study on the particular drug. So those patients who are participating in that study, those patients are these particular objects will capture that data. So this is the study participation, guys. The main purpose why I choose this is we can capture lots of metrics, lots of use cases from this object. So that is the reason why I choose this study participation as an object. So here you can see define segment. So So if you want a segment of data, I had around 15 to 16,000 records, guys. So do you want to use 15 to 16,000 of records, or do you want to segment the data? Let's say I want the data. I have a age field, age greater than a number 18. So I just sorry, why it is coming very oh 18, yeah. So I just want the records where the age is greater than 18. So let me check the data. Here you can check the data. So to do the predictions, we need 400 minimum records. So 18, the age greater than 18, I am having 13,346 records. So actually, what I told you, there are 15 to 16,000 of records available there, but I have segregated to this a particular segment. That segment is nothing but age greater than 18. So as of now, for this prediction, I don't want to use this segment. So I am using no segment. And now let's check the data. So since I haven't segmented, I have all the data. I think it is 15,747. Yes. So we have 15,747 records are there on this particular study participation object. So let me click next. So yeah, so what kind of prediction you want to do? Is it a yes or no prediction, or is it a number prediction? So as of now, I want to perform yes or no prediction. So why yes or no prediction? So why I am going to do this? Let me explain briefly in the next further coming steps. I'm going to click next. So is there any field involved in it, or is there no field involved in it? For this study participation thing, for this enrollment rate prediction, I think there is no field involved in it. So I just want to do no field. So what is the difference between field is no field is, guys? If you want to do prediction which is with respect to a single field, which you want to get the predictions which mainly focuses on a single field, then you have to click the field. In my use case, I haven't had any single perspective or respective field, so I just want to go with no field is involved in it. So click next. If you want to know more about it, you can read it here as well. So I just give you the glance, but yeah, there is a really good guide here as well. So let's click next. And yeah, so since it is yes or no, I have to give yes criteria, and as well as I have to give no criteria. So so let me give some of the criteria. What is yes criteria? What is no criteria? So as I told you, there is example set. So within the S criteria, the AC prediction builder will predict from the data. So what is there in the S criteria, it will do some predictions from the data, and it will give some records to predict. So how it goes? Let me perform. So there is a field called participation status. Participation status. It is a pick list value, guys. So equals pick list. So does that particular patient is participated or not? Let's say he enrolled for this study, guys. So let's say it may be phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. He, he enrolled for one of the phase. So there is a pick list value called as enrolled. So I just want to click this enrolled. And I just want to make some more segmentation as well. So what are those segmentation? Like let's say gender. So I just want the gender either from the male or from female. So let me click the gender. Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, gender. So only male and female gender. I just want to participate in this study. No more offense. Just a example. And I just want to make sure age group of 18 to 55 have to participate in this particular study. So age greater than or equal to number 18, and also age less than or equal to number 55. So I just make sure people from the age 18 to between 18 to 55 are going to be in this S port. So let us go to no. So those who, I think out of these 15,000 or 16,000 records, we might have null values. So I just want to put those null values in this no condition. So this is a big no for us according to those no condition. So why yes condition, no conditions? I will show one of the picture which will elaborate you to understand. And I just want to make sure age less than or 18 or greater than 15 or do not want to participate in this clinical phase. So less than number, because they are below 18 and above 55 are the people should be very careful while coming to COVID-19 because it affects a lot to them. So for that reason, I don't want them to participate this particular clinical trial. So yeah. So I give yes and no examples. So let me click next. For obvious reasons, I will get error. Oh, sorry, it isn't giving me error. So before clicking next, I have to click check data. So here I get some errors. So because in S conditions, there should be minimum of 100 records, guys. In no conditions, there should be minimum of no 100 records. And as well as for an example record, it should be 400 records. So but we didn't have these records. Why? Because I have to put one custom formula. Instead of putting custom formula, I put all as end. So there is no such thing like end of male and female, end of greater than 18 and 55. It is not possible. So it's just a mathematical thing. So I just want to make it as one in either male or female, right? So 2 or 3. So a single person will not have uh, more than 18 years of age and also as well as less than 55 years of age. He might be having only one age out of those. So it should be 4 or 5. So here I build the custom logic. So now let's check it. Does it work? No, still it doesn't work. Oh, you got the very good as examples, but no, it is showing error. Why it is showing error in no? Because the same factor. In age, not a single person will be having less than 18 and more than 55. A single person will be having only one age. So we have to make another custom logic. Is one and either this age or that age, right? So one and two or three. Yeah. So let's check. As we did correct. Bingo. Yeah, we did correct, guys. So in our example record, there are 3,000 plus records are there. For yes, 1,000 plus are there. For no, 2,000 are there. So we are above par to the minimum records, and there are 12,684 records are there to predict. So what is this example? What is this S? What is this no? What is 12,648 records to predict? Let me clear you with an image. So image will give you a clear picture how it goes. So can you guys see this image, a data set image which comprises? So please let me know in the chat. Yes or no template. Thank you, thank you. So we are having 15,000. Let's say we are having 15,000 data set. So what is segment set is because it will segregate our data set into a single segment. Because if you want age greater than 18, so only records which will be having age greater than 18 will be there in the segment set. So it is segment set. So what is example set for yes and no? What is prediction set? So let's say example set for S, we put it as enrollment as S. Pick list values enrolled is S, and no is as some of the age groups less than 18 and greater than 55 is as S. So what Einstein will do is it will take it as example and it will do some pre-processing, it will do some patterns, it will perform some of the algorithms inside the system, inside the builder, and it will give some predictions. Okay, so it will take this as example and it will give some predictions to particular fields. So if we can go back to our example, so it is take out of, if you, it's a quick math, guys. So let's do a quick math. So we are having 15,000 something 700 records. So 3,000 records are there in the example set. So what is the remaining records? So the remaining are 12,684. So this is it. So this is example set and this is prediction. So example set we take as 3,000 out of 50,000 records, and the remaining 13,000 records are we are going to predict. So I think that this doesn't make you guys sound critical or something out of the bounds. So what Einstein is asking, so what field should Einstein base your prediction on? So with respect to some fields, Einstein will come up with some predictions. So the best recommendation is, guys, select all the fields. So we don't know which field will help us to give us the recommendation or give us the prediction. So since we don't know which field will act as a key metric to give us the good prediction, so we will select all the fields. By default, all the fields are selected. So we'll go next. And so prediction will be available in a single single field. It will create a single field, and what are the prediction values we are going to get, that will be stored in a single field. So it is asking us to give a name. So let's say enrollment rate. Enrollment rate. So I named it as enrollment rate. I think enrollment rate is there in my system. Okay, it is not there. So my field label is enrollment rate. Let me go back. Here we can go down. It is asking show top predictions on records. If you want to see some of the top predictions on record, you can enable it as yes or on. If you don't want to see, you can digit it as off. So as of now, I don't want this top prediction in my prediction. So I just go it next. So this is the last step, guys. It is showing whatever the things which we have taken into picturization. It will show you a glance of it. So here you can see what object we choose, what are the example records we did, what are the fields we select. Actually, we select all the fields available in the system, I mean in the object. What is the label we have given? Does we want the top predictions on the record field? No, off, we did off. So that's it. So by using point and clicks, we have build a prediction. Let's click this build prediction. So that's it. That is it, guys. We have successfully performed one prediction use case. So yeah, Einstein is building your prediction. So it can take anywhere from an hour to 24 hours to evaluate your data and build your prediction. Depending how heavy the load is, when your prediction is ready, the notification bell lets you know to view the record. So what happens is, guys, Einstein prediction builder will take some time at the backend because it have to pre-process the data. It have to make example sets and the prediction sets into make them into separate, and it have to build some patterns. It have to perform some of the algorithms. So for this, all these things, it will take some time. And in between 1 hour to 24 hours, the results will be available. Mostly, I can say 15. It can be available in 15 minutes. It can be available in 10 hours. It can be available in 24 hours as well. So it completely depends on your data. So I'm clicking done. So enrollment rate is ready. Let me. If you can see the status, the prediction status is still pending because it takes some time. So that is the reason why I already built some predictions for you to not you guys to wait this much of time. So already available results are available there from you. So here you can see there's a clone, edit, delete button as well as view scorecard button. So let me click view scorecard. So it will show you the prediction results. So in these prediction results, guys, so let me, before going to see the scorecard, I just want to ask you one question. The question is, uh, out of let's say you are going to predict something in future. You are going to predict future. There are 10 things that are coming towards you in future. So how many things you can predict, guys? Out of those 10 things, how many things you can predict? I can predict out of my intent or extent, I can predict 2 or 3 things. So out of 10, how many things you can predict? Let you guys give me a number between 1 to 10. I don't think so. 10 out of 10. Depend on resources. Great, Harshit. Let's say all the resources are available. Everything is available. Give me a number, guys. 2 to 3, 2. Yeah. That's quite obvious. We are humans. We are not able to predict everything correctly. 2 to 3 or hardly 3 to 4 we can predict. Yeah, 3. Kathy said 3. Sai said 3. Yeah, 3. Yes. On an average, a human can predict only these things out of 10. And might be these 3 also get paid. So let's go to scorecard, guys. So if you can go to scorecard, there is a prediction quality as 72%. So which tells us that out of 10, our prediction builder is going to predict 7 correct. So this is the quality of scorecard it is showing. But does those 7 are correct? That is my question. So that we are going to see in the results analysis. Okay. Up to now, we built the prediction, we got the result. So what are the top predictors which are acting to give this 72%? So there are some of the fields called wastage, postage, day of year. There are some fields which is giving us top predictors which has enabled us to give this 70%. So when this prediction has built, all the data will be available there. I think I built it on August 27, I think last week. So yeah. So these not it, guys. So this is the overview we are just viewing. So there is another thing called as predictors. So what predictors will tell us is so how many fields, how many selected fields I have selected is I have selected 13 fields. So previously we have selected some fields, right? In this scenario, I have selected 13 fields. But what Einstein prediction builder will do is it will segregate those. Let's say I'm having a data set, I'm having a pick list with 5 values. So what it will do is, let me show you an example as well. So there is a phase pick list field is there, guys. So as we are discussing phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, Einstein prediction builder will segregate those phases. So this is called as segmentation, or so it will segment these phases and it will do out of 13 predictions it will brought up to 64. And what is the predictive model it is using is random forest. So random forest is one of the machine learning algorithms. I will just give you a single overview of it as well at the end. So what fields are acting as a key metrics for this particular prediction? Alcoholic status. If that particular patient is alcoholic, 0.035 it is acting, 8.4, 0.01. So we can also check particular field status as well. So how they are acting here to give as the best, I mean 72 percentage of prediction. And if we go back to settings, whatever you have built, you can see it here once again. And I just want to go back to predictors once again because there is something called as impact and correlation. So you guys please pay some attention here. So what is impact? What is correlation? So impact is this particular field wash days post study is giving highest amount of impact to give 72 percentage of prediction quality. Likewise, this field is giving 0.907, 0.882. So these fields are acting as some of the impactful fields, which is giving us the good prediction quality of 72 percentage. So impact is this. I think you are sorted with impact. So you can see from decrement order or from increment order using this. So what is correlation? So this is one of the important metric I just want to discuss in the result analysis. Correlation is will be in two ways. One is positive correlation and another is negative correlation. What is positive correlation? What is negative correlation? Let me give you an example of positive correlation. So in summer, the probability of buying an ice cream is more. This is positive correlation because summer is positive trend for buying the ice cream. Coming to negative correlation, in winter, what is the probability of buying an ice cream? It is very less. So this is act as a negative correlation. So by with respect to the positive and negative correlations, these predictions will act as some of the key metrics, guys. So these are the correlations which will perform for us. So I don't want to jump or deep dive into what is correlation, jump deep dive into these machine learning what are things, but I just want to show you one picture about the correlation. Let me know if you guys can see the Google picture. Can you guys see this picture? Yes, thank you, guys. So yeah. So what is positive correlation is if you are starting from a lowest value, let's say 0, if your value is incrementing from 0 to a good positive value, with this the left hand side, these are act as positives, these are act as negatives. So combination of these things, you will be having a good positive correlation because there are lots of outliers available at positive side, right? So that is why it is positive. If there are lots of outliers available at the negative side, or if the negative values are very high, then that correlation is called as negative correlation. If there is a neutral kind of thing, it is no correlation. So this correlation plays a major metric to give us the prediction as well, guys. So this is the core concept of machine learning and deep learning. So I just don't want to discuss more about it. So let me go back. So these are the things which will give us good prediction, guys. So we have seen one good prediction. If this prediction is till our prediction is not available, if this prediction is available, it will show us the notification here. So since it is not available, it is not showing. So here you can get the scorecard. Scorecard, which is from I think this percentage to this percentage, it is a good prediction from. Let us see this scorecard of let's say no show rate or maybe screen pass rate. Let's see screen pass rate. So if you can remember, enrollment rate is 72% high as prediction, but here screen pass rate is 92% high. It is too high. The quality of prediction is too high. Wow, it means 10 out of 10 predictions will be correct. Is it correct? Does that 10 out of 10 predictions will be correct? No. How it is no, or how I am straightforwardly telling that it will be not correct, because let's go back to predictors once again. If you can see predictors, study smoking status is acting as one, voluntary smoking status is acting as so some of the fields which is giving us impact. But if you scroll down, a lots of fields is giving zero impact. So lots of fields are not acting or not implementing this particular uh, prediction. So these are called as outliers, or these are called as noisy data. So only 2 to 3 fields are giving us this particular prediction. But since we have selected 20 fields, but how we can get the metric from only 2 to 3 fields? We have to get the metrics at least from 15 fields, right? But if not to 20 fields. So that is the reason why it is acting as a noisy data or outliers and giving us bad prediction value. So we have to be very aware that our prediction is good or bad. It might give us 99%, it might give us 98%, 90%. We have to check whether the prediction is good or bad. We can check it from this predictor tab, or we can check it from the fields tab as well. So which field is giving us good predictors? Here you can say, if you can see the gender field, so nothing is acting as a good insight or good metric to give this prediction. So gender is the so that's the reason why it is a bad prediction, guys. So you have to analyze these results as well. So don't go with straightforward or blindly. with the prediction score. So that is what I just want to show you with respect to the analysis. Let me go back to my PPT. I don't know whether you guys understand this or these things. Maybe it might be high level or this might be very good. Yeah. So I already show you what is the impact and coefficient. So there are some of the definitions available over there. You can have a look into it for a second. The amount of effectiveness that particular field is having to give the accuracy score of the predictive field. So it will act as the effectiveness. And correlation, I already told you, positive or negative correlation will act. So let me go to next slide. So predictive models available right there. If you can see the predictive model, guys, we got the notification. So our prediction is available for that prediction which we have built a minute ago. It is available. So let us refresh this page and check how our prediction is going to perform. Bear with me for the next 5 to 10 minutes, guys. I am going to close this session. So ready for review. It gives the scorecard good. So the same thing we have did previously here also. It gives a good scorecard. Let's view the scorecard. It might differ with a few percentage. Yeah, 67%. Our previous one is 72, right? It differs with 67% because at the back end might be the data changed from my side, guys. So that's the reason why it will decrease. So or else it will be more or less equal prediction. So let me go back to my slides. So what are the models, predictive model types are which are available in the prediction? So let us once again go back to scorecard. You can see, go to predictors tab. You can see the predictive model type is random forest. For our enrollment rate, our prediction model type is random forest. So let's go back to this one, screen pass rates. Let's go back to scorecard and again click the predictors tab. Here also the prediction model type is random forest. So what is this random forest? And not only random forest, there are three types of predictors which will act. One is random forest, another is linear regression, another is logistic regression. So these are the three core machine learning algorithms, guys. So these machine learning algorithms will prepare the patterns, will prepare the data, will make sure the example set and prediction set are separate, and it will use us the prediction rate. So there is a question from Harshit. Can we change the prediction model type from our end? No, Harshit. It completely depends on your data. So prediction builder will decide what prediction model you have to choose with respect to your data, with respect to your example set which you have chosen at the time of predicting the point and clicks at the prediction builder. So I just don't want to deep dive into these three algorithms because these are the core algorithms of machine learning. Random forest deals with some of the tree structures, SRNOs. Linear regression deals with regressions, which gives us the predictions. Logistic regression deals with the binary data. So I don't want to jump down into this data sort of things, but just for your understanding, I have told you. So random forest will be used in both SRNO or number predictions, and linear regression will be used in number predictions. Logistic regression will be used in SRNO prediction. Right? So I have forgot to show you what is number predictions and what is field predictions. Right? I'll just within a minute I will show you. Let's say test. The most safest and very used name test. I'm randomly giving study participation once again, and I'm clicking next. So since we have performed yes or no prediction, like that we can also perform number prediction. So clicking number, it is asking whatever the number fields available in my study participation object. It will showcase those numbers. Age is a number, right? So it is showcasing age. with respect to age, I can also build some prediction. So it will also give some number as a result. So since if you can see, this is in beta phase. So this number predictions are beta phase. So beta phase is nothing but it is not completely built or not completely available for us to sell to our customers. So it might or might not give you the accurate prediction. So number predictions are not yet completely available for us. And within yes or no predictions, we have with field and without field, guys. So with field, let me show you what is with field predictions. So there are some of the fields it will showcase. The field should be a checkbox or it should be a formula. And the formula also, its written type should be checkbox. Only these fields, only it will accept and it will do predictions with respect to this field as well. You are making this field as a key metric. If you are predicting something, then you can do predictions as well using these things. So I just don't want to dive into these things as well. My main motto of this session is showcase some of the analysis and also a deep sense of this prediction builder rather than the baseline of this prediction. So my next slide. So this I think last but one slide, guys. So things to remember, guys. So there are some of the things to remember before or after you do perform some prediction builder things. So the things are to get good prediction data. Data plays a major role. Try to avoid duplicate data and null values. I'm having 15,000 records, guys. Out of those 15,000 records, I think I have 20 to 25 fields. So within those 20 to 25 fields and 50,000 records, if I am having null values or if I am having duplicate data, then that is called as bad data. That is called as noisy data. So this noisy data will give us 99% of prediction, but it is completely trash. So make sure you do not have this bad data in your object, guys. So make sure you get some good data. Always check the prediction scoreboard, especially quality of the predictive model and predictors inside. So previously we checked the predictors tab and quality of the model like 72%, 99%. So by looking into them, we will get the good prediction. So we can understand our prediction is good or bad. So we have to focus on these things, and these are the things to remember. And I have a good example for you guys if you want. If you are interested to generate some random data, let's say 15,000 records is not available everywhere, or it is quite hard to get 15,000 records. There is a good formula in Excel sheet called choose brackets, rand between brackets 1 to n. N is nothing but the highest number. So I will show you an example why I am confusing you guys. So let's say this is the gender. Let's say choose rank between 1 comma. I'm assuming there are 3 types of genders: male, female, and others. So 1 is the starting value, 3 is the highest number of values which we are going to perform, comma, colons, comma, colons, comma, colons. So those are the brackets. What are the values we are going to fit into it? One is male, another is female, sorry, another is others. So these are the 3 values. I just want to generate some random data. So I click enter. I am just dragging down. So if you can see, randomly it is generated. Female, female, others, others. So if I click Control Z and I want to drag it to a good extent, I'm dragging, guys. If you can see at the left side, it is going on, 2,000 records, 3,000 records, 4. I'm stopping here. So if you can see, I created 6,514 random data. So like this, you can create random data with this beautiful formula. So this is the formula. If you want to do some prediction builder with good amount of data, you can use this formula, and you guys can go ahead with prediction builder as it is freely available in developer edition. So this is one thing I want to show, and is the total And one thing we have to take care of is bias. So let's say we are coming with some decision, or we are coming with some prediction. There will be bias involved in it. Let's say what is the uh, soft drink brand which is going to be number one for the next 3 months. That is the prediction we as a human have to predict. Let's say, since thumbs up is my favorite, I will definitely say thumbs up because I am biased over thumbs up. Let's say you guys are biased over Sprite. So you will tell that Sprite is the next best thing is going to happen. So here bias is is playing a major role from a human perspective. And also coming to data perspective, if you are having more data which is related to thumbs up, or if your data is more inclined towards thumbs up, then also the predictive model will definitely give you the prediction as thumbs up. So we have to make sure that there should be no bias in the data as well, because if data is biased, then the prediction will also be biased. So make sure these things also. So these are the things to be remembered when you perform prediction builder. So I just want to share you some learning resources as well. So this is one of the beautiful blog called www.einsteinhub.com. I just want to go to that website. Yes, here it is. EinsteinHub.com, guys. This is a very beautiful place where you can learn Einstein AI. So let's say you can, if you do not have any knowledge about AI, you can learn from here. If you want to learn about Einstein discovery, prediction builder, next best action, vision, language, voice. So let us go to prediction builder as the prediction builder session. So you can see, you can learn prediction builder, you can set up prediction builder, you can use prediction builder, or you can extend our prediction builder. So I just want to learn prediction builder. I click the learn button. So here you can see there are lots of blogs available for prediction builder. Lots of videos, tutorials are available for prediction builder, and Twilight modules, help articles are available for prediction builder. So this is the best blog, guys. Einstein/hub.com, where you can learn some of the Einstein features. And let me share it in the chat window, or you can take a snap, guys. I strongly prefer you guys to take a screenshot, and I'm also sharing it via chat. And make sure you get some questions. The next session is a Q&A session. I want to take up some of the questions from your end, and let's answer those questions. Yeah. And also help article is available, guys. So help articles are the beautiful articles where you can learn anything, not only Einstein prediction builder, you can learn anything from top to end. So let us go to help article as well. I think help article is available. I already make sure help article is available in one of my tabs. Yeah, this is the help article. So here is the Einstein prediction builder help article, guys, where you can learn lots of things regarding Einstein prediction builder, which I have shared here, which I haven't shared. Everything is available in this help article. I will share this link as well in the chat window. You guys can go through it if you want to perform some predictions. Yes. And the next resource I want to show you is Einstein prediction builder guide. There is a 70 pages guide which is available for the Einstein prediction builder with lots of use cases, with lots of examples, with lots of things mentioned over there, guys. So I just want you guys to go to that guide and have a look into it. And I will also show how that guide looks like. So this is the guide. Sorry. Yeah, this is the guide. So this is the 71 pages guide, guys. So you can see I'm scrolling down. Lots of metrics available there with examples, use cases, everything. I just want you guys to go and explore it and understand Einstein prediction builder in and out. Let me show you another resource. If you want to If you are lacking of use cases, there is a good use cases portal available, guys. So you can go to that use cases as well. And there are 50 plus use cases available. Einstein team has provided for us. So you guys can go to that use cases and look into it. I just want to show those use cases as well. So there is a use cases link. If you go through, if you click get started, it will show up some of the use cases for you. With the help of those use cases, you can build. So if it is a sales use case, service use case, marketing use case, finance, human resource, let's say sales. Out of the sales, what is the thing you want to do? I want to win the opportunity. So it will show you some of the opportunity win use cases. Right? So likelihood to convert. Here you go. Here is the use case. If you want to learn more about that use case, you can learn here as well. So this is one of the best use cases guide, guys. So you can go through it and have a good explore. And sorry, it went to thank you slide. And as well as Twilight modules. So there are very good Twilight modules available in the Twilight. You guys can go to Twilight and click in the search bar as Einstein Prediction Builder. Then you can have those two Twilight modules as well. And at last, I strongly recommend you guys to go through admin.salesforce.com blogs. So these blogs will give you the very good metrics about this Salesforce Einstein Prediction Builder. So these blogs are my go-to blogs. Whenever I have doubt anything related to Einstein Prediction Builder, I will go through these blogs. If you can see, admin.salesforce.com. This is a blog for the Einstein Prediction Builder, which is written by Terry Benio. Sorry for the wrong pronunciation. So, and also there is another admin.salesforce.com blog available there. So this blogs is especially telling Einstein Prediction Builder, how do I know my prediction is working? Like we also did some analysis how our prediction is going to work. This is also going to show how is our prediction is going to work. And also there is another blog in the admin.salesforce.com which is written by I think Devraj, I think so. He is one of the Einstein product team member. Yeah, it's Sarin Devraj. So this will walk you through the whole and soul Einstein Prediction Builder platform. Up to now, I show you how the prediction works, how the analysis of the results, but we didn't see the analysis. So let us see the analysis, the results, guys. So since we have performed this prediction on study participation object, where is study participation? Sorry. Okay, it is giving me hard time. Yeah, here is study participation. So I'm clicking study participation. And I just want to see how the results are going to be like. So I have created list views for this predictions, guys. So within this study participations, I have this quick list called. I have put all the predictions into one list view. Sorry, I am telling like this. It is list view. So enrollment rate predictions into here, no show rate here, screen pass rate. So I just want to go to all predictions which I have built. One is no show rate, enrollment rate, and screen pass rate. Right. So here you can see the score. No show rate score for this particular record is 21. So there is a 21% of chance that this particular person, record in the sense person is not going to be shown in that particular study participation. This is called no show rate. There is 39% of chance where he can enroll in this study, and also there is 76% of chance where his screen is going to be passed. Screen pass is nothing but where he can going to convert from one page to another page. So let me enter into one record and I will show you how prediction will show the results. So here you can see it is showing no show rate. There is no show rate of 42% and screen pass rate of 73% and enrollment rate of 39%. So this particular record will is going to have these percentages of prediction states. And also you can see these top predictors. So what is the top predictor fields which is making this prediction to give 42 percentage? So I wish you guys go and explore this and you guys do these predictions. So there is a question from Jay. How prediction scores varies from record to record? Because one record will have one value, right, Jay? So for example, let me stay in this record only. In our prediction builder last but one phase where we selected all the fields, right? So the fields which are available here, phase is not applicable, maybe study number is 2365, study type is interventional, therapeutic area is inflammation. So these fields are making an impact. So with respect to impact and with respect to the correlation, it will give us the some prediction rate. So this is a rate, guys. This is not a prediction value. So rate and prediction value differ. So that is the reason why I want you guys to explore these predictions and how it is differs from one record to another record. Okay. Yeah. So there is a lots of stuff which is involved here. Why this is various, but I don't want to expand this session more time since I have taken more than 1.5 hour. So I think that is it from my side. And what I just want to ask you one more question. Fine, maybe the last question from my side. So let me know in chat window what should be my next Einstein AI session. You want Einstein next best action, or you want Einstein OCR, which is optical character recognition, or you want Einstein chatbot. So whatever the session you want from my side, I will come up with this session, guys. From my side, put it in the chat window what you guys are expect from my side as a next session. Chatbots. Oh, there are lots of plans for chatbots. I think so. Sure, guys. I think I got the perfect answer. So the prediction rate for chatbots is 100%. All the people are telling that chatbots as the answer. Einstein case classification. Oh, case classification. This is purely related to Einstein service. Yeah, guys. So our next session will be on Einstein chatbots. I will let you know when and how our session is going to happen. Maybe at the end of this month or next month starting. Rishi is telling waiting for this session. Thanks, Rishi. So chatbots is really a cool thing, guys. I have performed some of the chatbots as well. So yeah. Okay, guys. Last track. If you have any questions from this prediction builder or anything related to this session, please put it on the chat window. Let's make. Let me stop my screen. Let's take these questions from you. Ankit Gupta is asking what is the price of the license. So Ankit, I just want to share the screen once again. So you know, Salesforce follow the price as per user statistics. It follows pricing values. So there is an Einstein cheat sheet for me, along with me. In this cheat sheet, let me scroll down to show you the Einstein pricing. Where is Einstein prediction builder? I'm searching. Yes, here is the Einstein prediction builder. So here you can see Einstein prediction builder is $75 per user, and if it is Einstein Analytics Pro, it is $125 per user. So Einstein prediction builder is not that less cost. It is very costly, but it worth of cost because it is predicting future, and with that future, our business model is going to be there, and we are going to perform some of our next tasks with the help of that future predictions. Let's say this particular lead is not going to convert as a closed one, then we'll focus more. We'll make our focus more on that particular lead, and we'll strive hard to make that lead to make as a win rate. So predictions will definitely help for any business which takes place. So let me stop my screen and let me take some of the questions from your side. Yes. Oh, there is a good question from Rishi. We may do the bias, by the way, thumbs up and sprite. If I give more data about thumbs up and less about sprite, will prediction builder cut the data of thumbs up equally with the sprites data? No, Rishi, it will not cut the data. If you want to cut the data with using the segmentation at the prediction builder, at I think the second phase, you can do some segmentation. If you want to do segmentations, if you want you yourself have to cut the data, you can do it. But prediction builder will not cut the data. Whatever the data you have provided, it will perform prediction on it. I'm just checking, is there any questions available for me at the top as well? Because while I'm sharing the screen, I didn't saw uh, some of the questions. Depending on the availability of it, then the bias may occur, right? Yeah, Rishi, if your data is having bias, then prediction will also give biased thing. So you as a developer or you as an admin have to make sure your data is not biased. So before you load your data into that particular object, you have to check whether you can check it manually. You can check it using some methodologies called pre-processing or pinning methods, which is available. So you can check it is biased or not. Or else you can do some randomizations. Like I show some of the examples of how to generate random data, right? So you can generate random data where it will definitely not having bias, and you can perform predictions on it, where you will get unbiased predictions, which is good for any business use case. I'm looking after some of the questions, guys.